You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Hey guys, it's Will.
No, Mike.
Ladies Nerdgasm. This is the top 10 movies of 1983. So the way that we're doing this is we're posting lists on our Instagram for each of us. Me, Mike, our friend Jim is behind the camera. Say hi, Jim.
Hi.
And other friends of ours who you've seen in these videos and on the channel. And we ask people in the comments to give us their list of the top movies of 81, 82, 83. And we compile it, we count up all the points, we make a list. This is what we have. So this is voted on by the 80s Nerdgasm community. If you're not following us on Instagram, make sure you go over there and check that out. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be a link to the Instagram in the description of the video, so you can find us over there. So we have 2 ties. It's like, I guess 10 and 9 are both ties. So at number 10, we have King of Comedy, which is a classic Martin Scorsese movie, Robert De Niro, which I think if we did this, we posted our 83 list a couple months ago. I think if we did this now, that movie would be way higher because it was a huge influence on the Joker and everyone's talking about it now.
Oh, yeah. And he just has a movie come out, The Irishman.
Yeah.
So people will be talking about him.
So the tie is between that and The Outsiders. So this is really interesting because The Outsiders was directed by Coppola. So we have a Scorsese Coppola tie at number 10, and The Outsiders is the classic, like coming of age story with like I think Tom Cruise, Matt Dillon, and like the cast is insane, and they're all really young in it, and it's a really really good. And again, as we said with 48 Hours in 1982, like that movie was really early on setting a template for that buddy cop movie. This movie became before I think a lot of those John Hughes movies, and the Fast Times at Ridgemont High did too, and they were kind of like setting this template for what would become like a big style throughout the 80s. And then I mean, King of Comedy is just such a freaking good movie.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about 8, because I don't really know much about it.
Mike is there. Well, this is another tie. So the tie that we have at 8/7 is 8 Diagram Pole Fighter and Uncommon Valor. So 8 Diagram Pole Fighter is a classic Hong Kong movie. Gordon Liu is in it. He's in Kill Bill. He plays like Pai Mei and he plays Johnny Mo and like a couple other people. And
I don't remember that movie.
Yeah, so it is what it sounds like. He has a pole, and there are 8 diagrams of pole fighting. And well, I think what the setup is that his whole family gets murdered at the beginning, and then he has to go ham getting revenge on everybody, and that's what he does. And it's a Shaw Brothers movie. So Shaw Brothers is a really famous studio out of Hong Kong that made over 1,000 movies, I think, like throughout the 80s. They made so many movies in the 70s and the 80s, and they had so many famous stars and.
Good for them.
Yeah, so, and then you want to talk about...
So, number 7 is Uncommon Valor. I think I had it either 5 or honorable mention on my list. I can't remember. Gene Hackman, I believe. Vietnam movie. Can't even remember much more about it.
This is the movie that I had on my list, and
I did have it on my list.
I don't think I've seen it.
And at the time, it was good, and I remember liking it. And now that we're here talking about it, and we talked about this, we've done all these lists in a row, and they're all starting to blend together.
But you're obviously not the only person who liked it.
It's a good Vietnam War movie, and it has Gene Hackman in it. And I think if I'm gonna try and remember, I think he's shot down in Vietnam, and he's trying to get out, and all that kind of stuff.
So it's basically like Behind Enemy Lines with Owen Wilson. Yeah,
it's good. Project. Oh, I'm not.
You can go ahead.
I'll just say number 6, Project A, is a film I have no idea about.
It's a Jackie Chan movie. It's like a classic Jackie Chan movie. So this is, I might be wrong, but I think this is either the first or second of the 3 Dragons movies, because I think Winners and Sinners was 83 as well. So the 3 Dragons are Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and Yuen Biao. And I think Jackie Chan directed Project A, and Sammo Hung is in it, Yuen Biao is in it, and what they do, it's like action comedy, and it's like really starting to set the template for like the action comedy stuff you know so well from Jackie Chan.
They did a bunch of those, right?
Yeah, they did a ton of them, and they're sailors, and it's like takes place in British controlled Hong Kong, like in the 1890s, I think, and they uncover this plot with these pirates, and there's all these crazy fight scenes, and there's all this silliness, and this movie is actually really well known for it has the clock tower. Fall where Jackie Chan fell off like a 5-story clock tower and he broke his neck during or like almost broke his neck during the stunt. He was like really badly injured, and it's an homage to like a silent film that has a very similar scene. So obviously I really like that movie. I think that was 1 or 2 on my list. I think it was number 2 on my list.
Number 5 we have A Christmas Story, and what I remember most about this film is because like I saw it in school. I think the first time I saw it, and like every like holiday season they would show in like
This movie's
elementary
awesome,
school
yeah.
and in middle school. They would always show this film. And everyone remembers him wanting to get this stupid little BB gun.
Yeah, you'll shoot your eye out, right? Yeah.
And the scene where they lick the pole and they get
Scott
stuck.
Farkas, and the scene where he gets the lamp.
There's just all these there's just like all these like
it must be
scenes.
Italian. And also it's based on a book with a really great title, which is like "In God We Trust, All Others Pay Taxes" or something like that. Yeah, which
All
is
others pay cash, I think.
Pay Cash. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good book.
So yeah,
it's a classic Christmas movie.
It's like one of those films that
remember
Jim
their
mentioned with the
neighbors
Blue
have-
Brothers. If it's on, you're just gonna watch it, and it's always on.
And their neighbors have 5 dogs, and they break through the window and eat their turkey or something like that. It's so good, and they have to go to the Chinese restaurant.
It's like you breaking through my window
What?
to eat the turkey, even though you're
Role
vegan.
reversal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do number 4. That's
National
your favorite film,
Lampoon's
right?
Vacation. This is this the one where they go to Wally World
I think so.
in
yeah.
California, right?
Yeah.
And they drive cross country, and obviously Chevy Chase
shenanigans
is
and
in it. And did
nonsense.
John Hughes write this movie? Do you know, Jim?
Yes, he
was involved in one of the.
I think he was involved with 2 of them, and
Yeah.
he wrote 2 of them.
And Beverly D'Angelo is in this movie too, right?
Yeah,
Who plays Edward Norton's mom in American History X, right?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure John
Because
Hughes
it's the
wrote
family,
this.
right?
Yeah.
And Juliette Lewis.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
who's the kid? Who's the son?
It's
We
What's
should
that
just have
actor's
Jim
name?
talk about this
it's the
movie.
guy with 3 names.
Tommy Lee Jones.
No. I'll look it up. Hold on.
But,
The man with 3 names.
But yes, I do believe John Hughes wrote this. John Hughes was really big in the 80s
I have to say
in terms
that
of writing and directing.
Christmas Vacation is my favorite National
He
Lampoon
definitely wrote
movie.
that one.
And
I think.
oh, did he? I don't know.
Uh,
But that's
How many of them was there in the 80s?
There were 3, right?
And he wrote 2. I believe.
Vacation, European Vacation, and then Christmas.
I think he wrote this one and then the one that came last.
So
who knows?
At number 3, we actually have a movie that I really, really love. I'm really happy ended up this high on the list. It's Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. It's just such a classic movie. The setup is so good. And actually, so we were
Really
talking
good
the other
setup.
day about 80s movies that are Christmas movies without being Christmas movies, like the whole Die Hard thing, right? Invasion USA,
Trading Places is one of those.
Lethal Weapon, and this is another one of them.
Jim looks like he wants to say something.
Tell us.
Anthony Michael Hall.
No, that's him?
That's him?
Is it
Wow.
really?
He played Rusty.
Very cool.
I told you 3 names.
Was
it
it
is
John
3
Hughes?
names.
Was it
Wait,
John
but
Hughes?
is he the same kid who plays him in the later ones?
No.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he's not in Christmas Vacation, right? It's a different kid.
Yeah.
Because
John Hughes wrote the
Yeah,
first
he
one.
did.
Anthony Michael Hall is also in 16 Candles, right? Yeah.
He's in all that shit.
So Trading Places is just a really, really fun, funny movie. Jamie Lee Curtis. I've been waiting for you, Billy Ray. Remember that scene?
Vaguely.
Yeah. And Jim's talking about that. Yeah, there's a lot of boobs in that movie. And is that what you're saying?
That's the only
Oh, I
thing
heard
Jim
it's
wants to
Jamie
care
Lee Curtis.
about.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
Oh, really?
I just remember is that her? They walk into the room and the woman is there like waiting for some guy. She's like, I've been waiting for you, Billy Ray. Is that Jamie Lee Curtis? And she's like setting the guy up, pretending to be like.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
exactly, but I think
Because they
It's
set
been
up Dan,
so long
they set
that-
up Dan Aykroyd as like selling PCP, right? And like, yeah,
So number 2 is actually really surprising for me.
yeah, because my mind is blown that this was not number 1 by like a
Exactly.
mile.
Yeah. And it's Return of the Jedi.
Star Wars is not number 1.
I'm
What's
honestly shocked
happening?
by that. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I have seen this. I saw the original 3, and I don't think I've seen anything since then. So I'll let you talk
Well,
about
you have
it.
to see Revenge of the Sith, or what's the
don't-
one with the terrible one with Hayden Christensen? It's the second one, right? Attack of the Clones.
I don't need to see
Yeah,
it.
because Hayden Christensen is not in Phantom Menace.
No.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Okay.
see it.
Anyway, the point being,
Point
Return
being,
of
it's
the
not
Jedi,
number 1.
I mean, it's a classic Star Wars movie. If you're a Star Wars fan, it's number 3 in the original trilogy. Darth Vader fighting the Emperor is in there, and there's other like the Ewoks, obviously, and there's a lot of like really famous scenes in this
Yeah.
movie. The second blowing up of the Death Star.
And I'm actually surprised there is a sizable jump in terms of votes between this one and our number 1.
Yeah,
film.
and the number 1 again, like a happy surprise, right? Scarface, which I think I had at number 1 on my list.
think I had it number 1 on my list, too. And I like Scarface a lot, but I will say 83 compared to like 82 and 81.
It's not as strong.
It's not as strong of a year.
Well, but there are some, like, if you go down the list, like,
There's some good ones down the list.
Videodrome and, like, Risky Business is on here. Just didn't quite get enough votes to get in the top 10. Repo Man had almost enough
Flashdance.
votes, but didn't quite
So
make
some
it.
good stuff. So number 1,
Yeah.
Scarface. I think like even though like a lot of these films have either something coming out now where people remember the film, like there's still Star Wars films coming out. Or it's just a film that's constantly shown at Christmas or whenever.
Mm-hmm.
But Scarface isn't. But it's just so
Well,
well
but
regarded
Scarface
and
is-
it's so well known. And
It's
everyone
also
always,
mentioned on, like, every rap album.
yeah, it's just
right?
always brought up that
Say
it's,
hello to my left friend!
that it's not surprising
Yeah.
that it's number 1
And
on
well,
this
it's
list.
also on Netflix right now.
Oh.
So maybe people are rediscovering it, and that Brian De Palma documentary came out recently.
That's
Although,
plus it's awesome.
I don't know if like our Instagram followers watch Brian De Palma documentaries because they're more just about like Schwarzenegger and stuff.
But it's just
but
really
it's
good.
It's like a
It's a good
3-hour insane epic Coke, like written by Oliver Stone, directed by Brian De Palma, starring Al Pacino. Like, what else do you need? It's
awesome.
a perfect storm. Michelle Pfeiffer is awesome in it. Anyway, Scarface is number 1. This has been 80s Nerdgasm's top 10 movies of 1983 as voted on by the members of our 80s Nerdgasm Instagram community. My name is Will.
I'm Mike.
And we will see you next time.
Hey.